Minecraft is one of the hardest games out there. And no, that's not because of mobs or the Ender Dragon, which frankly could be beat without even turning your monitor on these days, but rather because it's a game where you have to set your own goals. While the game technically ends after killing the dragon, for most that is merely the beginning. And this is awesome. It means that Minecraft as a game caters to all players, those who want to grind it out for months, and those that want to just build a humble abode and kill the dragon. But it also leads to a big problem that many players eventually end up facing. I've been playing the same Minecraft world on a server with friends since 2018. I have a gigantic base in a mountain, dozens of farms around the map, a gigantic item sorter, and so much more. It's taken me hundreds, if not thousands of hours to build all this, and I've always been motivated by a single overarching goal, that being to build a base which is self-sufficient, a base which has every automatic and semi-automatic farm possible in it. A goal set entirely by myself. This is a hard goal to achieve because it's not just a super flat world with dozens of farms scattered around. It's all built within a mountain, needs to look good, and requires lots of planning. If I go into Spectator, you can see how close everything is. My lack of frame rate also displays this. Nonetheless, this dubious goal has kept me motivated to play the same world for years, and while I would burn out or get bored of the world every so often, I would always find myself eventually returning, reinvigorated, and ready to continue my dream base. My entire YouTube channel only exists because I decided to edit some funny moments of me and my friends playing on that world, and even now, many of the videos I've made are topics I've only come across due to my deep interest in the game that stem from experiences in this one single world. But over the past year or two, things have changed for the worse. The last time I really played survival Minecraft was 1.16. That was mid to late 2020, and it's now been almost 2 years since I returned to my world. I have lost all motivation to play survival Minecraft. In fact, my interest in updates past 1.17 has also waned significantly, and if it wasn't for the fact that I run a Minecraft YouTube channel, I probably wouldn't even know what changed or was added in the following updates. I've lost interest in vanilla survival Minecraft, and I don't know what to do. Don't worry though, I haven't lost interest in making videos, so be sure to subscribe and help me get to 500k by the end of the year, and get this badge next to your name. No pressure. Anyways, let's try to figure out the problem then, and to do that we have to understand why it exists. Minecraft is a sandbox game, which means it allows players a very high level of freedom and creativity in the given environment. However, sandbox games often don't include predetermined goals. You see, most single player games have a story. You undergo various tasks, complete various objectives, fight various enemies in order to accomplish little goals set by the game. These goals overall all make up and lead to one overarching goal, to finish the story or to beat the game. Yes, you can take your time, explore the world and get your $60 worth, but that still doesn't detract from the fact that there's an overarching goal or end to the game. Online games also have similar overarching goals, which you complete various smaller goals to achieve. A game of Rocket League may seem super basic at first glance, but involves lots of goals. Literally. You initially want to score as many goals as possible so you can win the game, which contributes to an overarching goal of reaching a higher rank. But this is where Minecraft differs. The initial overarching goal of Minecraft is to beat the Ender Dragon, and to do that you need to complete various other smaller goals like getting gear, Eyes of Ender, and more. But after you've killed the dragon and snagged your elytra, then what? There are no predetermined goals left. This is where you as the player have to take over and start setting goals yourself, which is no easy task and why many players don't end up playing a world much longer after they have beaten the dragon. Oh, and maybe because stuff like this happens as well.
Wait, where'd you go?
You could spend hours building a massive castle, a huge cave base, or dubious amounts of farms, but what's the point? The game's already beat. Motivation becomes key now. Players have to set goals and be motivated to achieve them for whatever reason that may be. Those that do continue get one of the most satisfying and rewarding gaming experiences you can get, which only adds fuel to the spark that is motivation. Let me use the pride and joy of my Minecraft base, my item sorting system, as an example here. A build which took me dozens of hours over a month or so to build. I first used TNT to bomb out a nice natural area in my mountain base. Then I cleaned it up and set in place various levels and stairs which I knew I would place chests at. I cleared out space for redstone, calculated how many chests I would need to sort the items I wanted, organized what items I would group, and how many chests would be required to group them in a specific document. For example, nether blocks. I added item frames, collected a sufficient number of all 110 items I was sorting, and then added the redstone. This involved many expensive item sorters in a cascading descent, only possible due to resources from other farms I previously built. Once the redstone was in, I added a basic water stream to transport the items, covered up the redstone using slabs and other tricks, which still allowed for my chest to be accessible. I then decided on my building palette of dark oak and stone, which fit the natural, overgrown, and medieval theme of my base, collected all the items I would need for my build, and then systematically began placing blocks in. I started by placing all the dark oak logs in. Then I did all the stairs, then fences, then slabs. Next was the floor. I placed the grass first, followed by various stairs and slabs. Only after did I bone meal the grass, make paths, and add cobblestone and lighting to really sell the ruins like feel. I wasn't done yet though. I had to go and add leaves and vines to give the build its overgrown feel, followed by more slabs for variation in the cave ceiling. The waterfall was next, which I made flow into a nice natural cave opening at the bottom, containing a map of spawn. And I still wasn't done. I also added a nice design for both the entrances, added a shulker box unloader, which unloaded my shulker boxes into droppers, which drop items into the water streams, and so much more small visual detailing. As you can see, this was a long step-by-step methodical process that required planning, design, block palette considerations, and so much external effort beyond just placing blocks. I had planned out this one build in my base more than my future. Seeing it all come together slowly as I methodically accomplished small goal after small goal was immensely satisfying though, and only further increased my motivation. Completing the project left me on a high for the rest of the week and made me so motivated to continue my base and achieve my overarching goal. I spent the next week just admiring the item sorter I had built and showing it to all my friends. In fact, it's been the background image of my YouTube banner for the past 2.5 years now as well. That's how proud and satisfied I was of it. Without my motivation and overarching goal, nothing in my world would have ever been built. I was driven by feelings of satisfaction and accomplishment as I edged closer and closer to making my dream base a reality. But what happens when that motivation just disappears? The process of building this item sorter is similar for many of the builds in my world. When I want to make a new automatic farm, I have to plan out an area, make sure it will fit, and that other entities won't get in the way. Then I have to collect the resources, follow a tutorial, and more. Doing this over and over becomes very mentally draining, and as I kept playing the world, my builds and farms only continue to get more and more ambitious, requiring increased time and effort. As my interest in Minecraft decreased and the real world began to take up more of my time, the satisfaction and motivation I got from completing a project decreased as well, to the point where I no longer saw the value in continuing. I burnt out. Whenever I finished a project, I felt more relieved than excited and motivated. There are few people out there with the willpower, patience, and discipline to continue a world through multiple years, repeating the same building process over and over. Etho is a great example of a player who has burnt out time and time again, but always manages to return. There are so few who have worlds like Etho's because it's so tough to stay motivated. So what happens when you eventually burn out, but never regain that motivation to play again? Well, that's my dilemma right now. The last time I seriously played vanilla survival Minecraft in this world was mid-2020. Normally I would have regained interest in the game by early 2021 latest, and as such gained more motivation to finish my dream base again. But this time around it just never happened. I tried coming back in 1.17, but every time I would play, I would just end up wandering my world aimlessly. It's not that I didn't know what to do though, but rather it's because my goals were now too ambitious for my current level of motivation. There's this hole in a section of my base I dug out to create an automatic wood farm. It's been sitting there empty for 2 years now. It was meant to be my next project, the next addition to my base. But gathering the resources, getting a farm design, and building it required motivation I no longer had. Every time I tried to get back into Minecraft, I would go to that hole, and every time I would think to myself, I can't be bothered, I'm just gonna play Rocket League instead. Maybe I needed a fresh start, I thought, a change of scenery. So I started a new world early in 2021, a spin on hardcore where you lost a heart permanently upon dying. And for the first few weeks it was great. I streamed it on Twitch occasionally, set up some basic farms, began my base and regained my motivation once more. But then the same problem struck again. Once I had gotten past the predetermined goals set by Mojang and had started entering the late game, my overarching goal eventually became the same once more, to build a massive base with every farm possible. Once I had to actually begin accomplishing said goal, my motivation was still not high enough to carry it out, and as such, my interest in the world quickly faded. It's like I'm stuck in a loop. My overarching goal when playing vanilla Minecraft seems to never change no matter what I would try, what mods I played, and what changes I would make, but I no longer have the motivation I once had to achieve that goal. So even if I start a new world or find a new twist on survival to spice things up, it's always short-lived, as after a few weeks, my goal becomes the same again, but my motivation never restores. I should clarify that I'm still interested in Minecraft overall, and while some of you might want it, I won't be quitting YouTube anytime soon. I love reading about and making videos on Minecraft's history, its niche or weird elements, and I love talking about Minecraft multiplayer, my server OG network, the experiments I've created, and things I've learned from running a server. But my interest in vanilla survival Minecraft, raw Minecraft at its core, has only continued on a downwards trend since 1.16. I'm stumped. I don't have a solution to my lack of motivation, so sorry if any of you are in the same boat and were hoping I'd have the answer. I'm currently banking on a massive 1.20 update to renew my interest in my world and survival Minecraft overall, but who knows, maybe I'll never complete my dream base after all. I hope you enjoyed the video, even if it was kind of depressing. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you have any suggestions. Be sure to subscribe and help me get to 500k. Thank you all so much for watching.